So many of you have been asking me probably my least favorite question to ever get asked, and that is, what is your top 10 favorite anime? The reason I hate it is because I'm so indecisive. There are so many that impacted me or moved me in some sort of way, so picking my top 10 is difficult, especially because for me, I feel like it depends on what I watched most recently. But I'll give you guys my current top 10 favorites. Some of you have also been asking what my anime origins are. So a quick little background story is when I came out of the womb, my mom raised my siblings on anime. They were watching Pokemon, Cardcaptor Sakura, Fruits Basket, Sailor Moon, and that's what I watched as well. My mom would go to Blockbuster and she'd just pick up anime because she said it looked more sophisticated. Those are her own words. And I remember whenever my sister and I could go with my mom, we'd always pick up Vampire Princess Miyu. If you know, comment down below. Anime has just always been a part of my life. I also watched Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron and all those things as well, but I also just watched anime. So that is the lore. Now getting into what I'm dreading. This is going to be in no particular order because I cannot decide ranks. I just love all of these so much. So starting with number 10. This was difficult for me because I love Nana, but I also love Your Lie in April. And I think Your Lie in April has a little bit of an edge here because it impacted me in a way that it made me just fall in love with classical music. We were a musical family growing up, so I'd always listen to it, but Your Lie in April made me fall in love with it. The story itself is also beautiful. Jose sees the world in black and white. It is monotone, like a keyboard, but then he meets Kaori, who brings color and meaning into his life. I really appreciate that it highlights the toxicity of perfectionism. So seeing Kose's growth and admiration for Kaori, she's just a ray of sunshine. I loved it. Beautiful. Will always be a favorite of mine. Number 9 is Monster. And if you've been following me for a while, then you know that I bring up Monster a lot. What is good and what is evil? What does that actually mean? Because Dr. Tenma thought he was doing the right thing by neglecting corruption in the hospital. He's the top neurosurgeon, and 2 patients were brought to him one night. The one that came first was a young boy, and Dr. Tenma was getting ready to operate on him, but the hospital director hits him up and says, operate on the mayor because he's going to give us a big donation or something of the sort. And Dr. Tenma says, no, I'm going to operate on the patient that I was assigned and that was here first. A different doctor can take care of the mayor. If you've seen Monster, you know what the outcome is. Johan's one of my favorite anime villains. He's fascinating. So if you haven't seen Monster and you're okay with the slow burn because it is a slower paced show, definitely watch it. Number 8, we have Clannad. Clannad gets so much hate, and I've heard people say it's because they just cannot get into it because of the art, which is fine, but I feel like I just got used to it as I watched it. To be fair, I did watch it while I was quite young with my sister, so I didn't necessarily care about good or bad art. I think what makes Clannad special is the second season because it goes past high school and it goes places that other romance anime just have not. The way that it was executed is just incredible. It is one of the most beautiful stories that I've ever experienced. My niece and nephew will both be crying, but if you play Dango, they stop. It is the cure for all babies. I promise. Give it a try and let me know if it works if you have children. At number 7 is Frieren. Frieren is a newcomer to my top 10. Frieren is another slow-paced anime. I would not recommend it if you're someone that needs something that is fast-paced or medium-paced, has a lot of action, etc. It has a cozier feel to it. You're following Frieren's journey as an adventurer, and they don't really leave a lot out. So there's slight romance, there's action, there's exploring the town for gifts and food, and explores a teacher-student relationship, nostalgia and loss and regret. I think they did a fantastic job at that. It made me so emotional watching it. The way that they deliver the story, especially episode 9, Frieren the Slayer, I loved the way that they delivered that message. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. But Frieren took me by surprise because it's actually hard for me to get into at first, but my sister said, keep pushing through. I promise it gets better, and I'm so glad that I did because now it is in my top 10 favorite anime of all time. Number 6, we have Naruto. Naruto is the anime that made me obsessed with anime. I just loved daydreaming about it as a kid. My sister and cousin and I would always run around, pretend that we were ninja, fight over Sasuke, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, but we grew up with the characters as well. I think Naruto has some of the best anime characters, some of the best character development, and some of, if not the best, anime fights in all of anime. At number 5, we have Code Geass. Lelouch is just I think he's the first anti-hero that I had really watched in an anime. I don't know, he just has something about him. Maybe it's aura, but he's so intelligent. It's like a psychological mecha. Lelouch is one of the most fascinating, complex characters in anime, and seeing what he did to protect the people that he loved, especially his youngest sister, Nanali, for me, just incredible. I think I was 10 or 11 when I watched Code Geass, and it's still a favorite of mine. At number 4, we have Gintama. Gintama, I have described multiple times as the perfect anime. The humor is right up my alley. I thought it was going to be just a comedic show, but oh my gosh, it is so much more than that. The action is great. The story, when it is serious, is fantastic. The serious moments have me at the edge of my seat. It has made me cry. The cast is phenomenal. It's over 300 episodes, but that didn't feel like enough for me. It's a comfort show for me. 10 out of 10, perfection, so good. At number 3 is Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is the anime that probably has left the biggest impact on me in my adulthood. I thought it was just going to be a Viking anime full of action because of season 1, which was great. It was entertaining and fascinating, watching Thorfinn bent on revenge. I actually think that Aslak is what made season 1 fantastic for me. I've talked about him a lot, but seeing that he was this obstacle in Thorfinn's way. And season 2, a lot of people complain about it. Farmland Saga, people say it's so slow, it's a snooze fest. I see where people are coming from with that. I watched it twice, and the second time I could see that there were parts that definitely were dragged on a bit longer than they should have been. I'd recommend reading the manga because you can breeze through it a lot faster. But for me, season 1 of Vinland Saga paired with season 2 is what makes it perfect. What Thorfinn says in season 2 just genuinely changed my outlook on life and how I look at things, and I know that a lot of people feel the same way. I actually dropped Vinland Saga, just like Frieren, and I saw people saying that Thorfinn is the opposite of Eren Yeager, which really intrigued me, as you'll see soon. Number 2, Hunter x Hunter. I watched this with my sister when I was either 12 or 13, so watching a show with characters that were my age was really fun. There's truly nothing else like Hunter x Hunter out there. There's something about the vibe, the energy that it has that no anime I think will ever be able to replicate or have. You're following these teenage boys that kind of have to experience an adult world, which is brutal. It is not all sunshine and rainbows, which is what I thought Hunter x Hunter was going to be. I thought it was going to be this lighthearted shonen, and it was not that. It has the Hunter exam arc, the Tower arc, the Killua arc, York New City with the Phantom Troop, Greed Island, which is them going into a video game, the Chimera Ant arc, which is the best anime ant arc out there. Sorry, Solo Leveling. So incredible, and the soundtrack with the voice acting, with the characters, all of it is perfection. Amazing, beautiful, perfect, stunning. I love it. And one is Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan has had me in the biggest chokehold since it came out in 2013. I was 14 when it came out. I could have never guessed that it would have ended the way that it did. It was so much more than just a shonen action anime. Foreshadowing, the plot twists, the characters, music, like literally everything for me is 10 out of 10 except for maybe the ending, but I will not let that tarnish the score. I listen to the soundtrack so much that my family members have it memorized. I cannot imagine a world where there will be another anime like Attack on Titan. People refer to it as the anime of the decade. No, I just genuinely can't imagine something being as moving and well written as Attack on Titan. So those are my top 10 as of now. I checked my Annie list and I've seen 258 anime all the way through completed, not including the ones I've dropped or have on pause right now. So I still have a long way to go. If I said some that you have not seen, then that needs to change ASAP. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram. I post on those two way more frequently than I do YouTube, but I'm trying to change that. I hope everyone's feeling excited for the springtime because I know I sure am. I don't know how to end this, so bye.